Well, of course, thank you for keeping it locked to SMART24 TV, where we drive your business. And of course, you're still watching a Sports Zone here on SMART24 TV. Today is a Saturday, just to remind you, hey, we're just left with only one day to step into one of the days that people are really excited about. But then, welcome to yet another half. We're left with only a few minutes to be signing out. But of course, before we left, actually, we had talked about branding and how people have used their different platforms in sport to brand themselves. And of course, we have our very own, that is Sisi Nantongo with the CN18. Can you imagine? Imagine putting on someone's brand and you know, CN18. Yeah. So of course. Sisi Nantongo, actually the introduction of a new CN18, a fashion for her brand is, she said it was an exciting adventure for her. Yeah. Of course, it will be her face for years to come. And she believes that it will create a strong personal brand that can attract sponsorship deals, and on top of that, it will develop an emotional bond with her fans. Imagine, by the way, imagine you're putting on CR7. You know, you're attached to your person. Yeah. So it's definitely. Feel vibe. Yeah. I feel. The brand of your role model or your. This is the first person actually I've seen so far doing this. Yeah. She loves herself. This is something new.
Yeah, something new.
So imagine you're donning on something, because at the end of the day, I'm going to see you putting on CN18. I'm going to be asking who CN. You're going to be like, you know, this is a football player, and you're going to be like, okay, I feel like I should get one and maybe watch some of her matches. Yeah. That is how people are branding themselves these days. So and people know you by force. Yeah. You have to be out there. That is why when it comes to women's sports, that is why we're not earning as men, because men brand themselves. Yeah. So this is a good one.
Yeah. It's a very good one. It comes with management as well.
Yeah.
I would say, why wouldn't she have a brand? Someone who is a sports, she's into sports, she's known. A person like me having a brand, because personally I also have a brand. My brand is.
What is your brand, sir?
I have a brand.
He has a brand. Well,
this is my brand.
Okay. So is it personally like Kefa?
I'm just trying to legalize it.
Okay. Please, I need to buy one of those shirts. Well, of course, Nantongo won the inaugural Fufa Women's Cup with Olila High School in 2017 before joining the She Corporate FC the following season. And of course, she has really done tremendously. Of course, the CN18 brand will have hoodies, jumpers, scarves, capes. Wow,
jackets,
that's a lot. Scarves. That's a lot of offers. So you're at your disposal to choose whichever. So maybe we shall know actually how much what could it cost, so that maybe we could also be one of the people that don't own her
supporting your own.
Supporting our. I love women that are doing these things. Imagine, she's young. She's very young.
In fact, by the mere fact that she's the first of the kind to be introduced.
But of course, we're in an era where you have to brand yourself for you to get a lot of fans. You put yourself out there. You do the unimaginable. So I love it.
But only challenge with a country like ours is copyright. Because there's a lot of fake and counterfeits and so on. This is something that is done, and we have seen even with international brands. I think you've seen like someone, there's some joke which was talking about Nike, that in case you see, actually it was Jordan. It was a Jordan. The original Jordan, you will see someone holding the ball like this. Then the fake one, you will see someone holding the hand like this. And even Puma, you will see an animal which is running
like a dog.
Something like that. So she should, one of the things that mainly they should focus on is
copyright.
But of course, Mercy, like in fact this question goes to you. In particular, we've had a lot of elites in the different sports, in the various sports. For example, Dennis Onyango, Hassan Waswa, very many people, Joshua Cheptegei. How come there is no that branding? Like, what do you think hinders them?
I mean, it depends on management. It depends on the management that you have, right? Because every year, every season comes with a different strategy. Now we're in an era where you have to put yourself out there. And then I don't think it was about social media not had very much impact, because now if you look at how social media trended, it was during the COVID-19 time. If people were all over, they were home on TikTok, very busy, had nothing to do, so that became an era for us as Uganda. Yeah. So for you to be known there, you have to do something extraordinary. Because at the end of the day, even putting on these branded shirts is not going to make any sense anymore. So definitely, I feel it's upon management. You as a person, how far do you want to go? Do you want to be there so that they see you on TV only? What? How far can you go for people to know you?
Wow.
And branding doesn't only involve about making shirts and jumpers. Even you as a person, how do you brand yourself? You talked of Onyango. Onyango has branded himself as the best goalkeeper in Africa, because he has even got the awards for that. So that definitely, that is
a brand. It's a brand itself.
Onyango himself is a brand in South Africa.
My issue is, I mean, the fashion of branding, like the fashion. Like, do you have anything to put on market?
It depends.
Leaving aside,
she may be passionate about fashion. She may be passionate about fashion. Oh, another artist may be, player may be passionate about cars and cars come.
Okay, Kefa, how do you think the government can at least help these people who've decided to come up with their own brands?
Yeah, one of the ways is
financing. Maybe I could say financing, because that's the only challenge I feel like is there.
You know there are terms and conditions and there are procedures to go through if you're coming up with a brand. Definitely there is URI involved, there is
taxes, a lot of taxes
and so on. So one way or another, that is the government, and that's how it can really go and get involved. Ways of support.
You know, to me, I think we as Ugandans, I think we do have our own issues. A case in point, you see, in like for example, in Nigeria, there was a law which was put in place that for any advert to be put in place, they should use their own natives, like they should use their own superstars around, not. Okay, now for example,
not using Jay-Z or some other person.
Okay, for example, here in Uganda, for example, there is a phone brand where you see Techno, rather this Davido posing with the phone. In Nigeria, that was banned.
They have to use their very own.
They have to use their very own. So to me, I think there should be that.
So endorsement deals should be given to our very own.
Automatically. Automatically.
The challenge with that is that there are international companies that have adverts.
So they choose.
If Coca-Cola makes an advert in Kenya, it will run in Kenya, it will run in Uganda. So they can't just get a figure like Trevor, who is an artist here, a singer, and is not known in Kenya. Pepsi will use Messi for a reason. You notice that?
Because of that popularity.
Because of the
but to me,
so maybe if you're saying for the local content, if you're saying that Waiswa Tea Company wants to make an advert, definitely they will get.
But according to me, I think that is wrong. Why? We've seen Coke in particular. For example, is it Coke Studio Africa?
Coke Studio,
They use individuals from particular countries. You get, for example,
there's not been a balance.
There's a way they balance. So to me, all goes back to the agreement signed. Like, how are we going to support our own? You get. So to me, I think having a fashion brand, to me, I think we should support our own. I think some years back, there was something, in fact, was it called Bubu? Buy Uganda, build Uganda. So to me, I think we should give our own support.
And I think I get what you mean. There's an advert of, was it called Nirvana? Where they used the Vipers team and was it the Uganda Cranes team? And
which one these moves?
Uganda Cranes team and their coach has gone, and we saw our coach giving us those
moves, killer moves.
So maybe that could work, but still, you have to keep in mind what I've just told you about the international organization, and those are the companies. If they're
local companies, it's fine. But international, they choose who they know.
Because you talked of Davido. Davido is TZ, Kenya, Nigeria,
all over Africa, even international.
Okay, my question is, how comes that for us in Nigeria we don't have, like, for them they don't promote any
other African?
No, like any.
But when those international adverts run, I think they're excluded. This is a promo that has to run like worldwide. So on YouTube, I'm sure they have YouTube, and you've seen the ads on YouTube.
So I have to put someone I know people are going to be relatable to. I cannot put Trevor and they're not known in their village.
Wow.
How is the world going to know them?
Okay.
Yeah.
My other question would be, for this lady in particular, the captain of She Corporates. This is a team which is urban based. You get, and for us people living in Kampala, it will be okay. We shall support. But how do you think, like, she will penetrate to the root grass? I mean, going down. I mean, rural. For example, the way you see, for example, the way you see a person in Kamoli putting on CR7, you get. How do you think she can be able to penetrate down on ground? I mean, down back to our villages.
First of all, management is very crucial in this thing. We've talked of management, repeated management. It's very crucial because herself is not going to go to Kamoli and start selling the shares. There is a pattern, there is a system that is built, and even CR7 that you talked of in Kamoli, I'm sure it wasn't authentic.
No. I mean, CR7 being known everywhere.
But still, he doesn't. Does he earn from someone? Maybe what he earned, he could earn popularity. But Trevor can go to NASA and print CR7 as well and go to Kamoli and sell. So management is management is the most crucial thing. How are you going to distribute? How are you going to do what? These are things that you actually go business-wise. Then you start coming up with the methods of how you're going to do it.
But of course, I believe some people have went ahead and do corporate social responsibility as a way of branding themselves as well, for them to be known. You go to a certain village, you do some charity work. So that is how people start knowing you, because not everyone is going to watch sport. Mostly for women, people are less interested in women's sports. So it's up to her to spread the word herself, so that her friends can also spread word, so that by the end of it all, she will be all over.
I'm seeing her putting on a Kappa shirt, so definitely one of the first people that they should go to in case they're going to is Kappa. Because it's a company, a company that does those jerseys and so on. Moves itself is a fraternity. You should, when you're starting any kind of business, definitely it's your people that are going to support you first before you go out to the outside world. The colleagues, the teammates, the fellow people from the different clubs and so on. And all those systems and all those ideas should be brought in by management, because she may not have them, but then if you have anyone who has good management, definitely becomes successful. It's a very crucial thing.
Wow. In fact, I think that leads me to our next topic. In Rwanda, there is a guy, or there is a footballer called
Mugunga.
He's called
Mugunga.
Yeah, Mugunga. Mugunga is one guy who wants to resign because of
the fact that actually, when I read through that story, I was like, you know what? I feel like he's not alone. Very many people are very silent, quiet, because by the moment you step out and expose people, anytime like a drone can be passing by your house when you're walking around. But then I feel like many people are victims of this. People are not being paid. He's not alone. We've seen very many. I think it's one person who came out and said it, but of course him.
But of course, there are many others.
There are very many. That's as I said, there are very many quiet, silent ones. But him coming out, that means the rest will also be like, oh, me too. I have the same situation. We've had that in
Uganda. We've had it at the national level, like the national team.
The national team.
Remember when the president came out and said, "You play city football." But he said them, they're on record. Said them, if you play shitty football, what do you expect? And we saw even the current goalkeeper. Actually, that is the moment. That is during that same time when I think Onyango came out and resigned. We saw the current goalkeeper. He's called Jamil. He also had issues over the same thing. Such issues have been coming at the national team level, at the club level. Such issues have been...
So, Mercy, according to me, how do you think the federation should get in charge of that? I mean, for example...
Financing?
No, like for example, at a club level, how do you think the federation should come in to guide the different clubs?
The different clubs. Well, of course, the different clubs have to find means of soliciting money. Yes, and then get sponsors. The point is getting a lot of sponsors so that they can be able to pay these players. You can imagine this guy was sick and nobody came to his rescue.
Yeah.
So you had to put word there, like, I can't be able to come back because you know what, you've not paid me even.
Wow.
So how am I supposed to perform?
To me, in fact, first and foremost, I think I would really appreciate our federation in particular, that is the FIFA. Each and every player playing in the top flight and the big league, they are all insured, unless in Rwanda. In Rwanda, I think this guy wants to quit the team because the team gave him the check to go and get some money from the bank.
Was a
and the check
check.
was bounced.
Oh God.
Imagine getting an injury, you're sick, you're in bed for months and months.
Yeah.
For you to go and ask for something, they give you a check, the check automatically bounces.
And before even the federation, before the club level, because the federation is the overall overseer of football. Before you blame the club, for you as the federation, how have you handled your issues for the national team? Have you paid your players? Like, are they paid well? Because you can't criticize someone, they are learning from you. Because you're the one in charge of the national team. So definitely you can't start criticizing the clubs when doing things wrongly as well. So clubs can also do that, but then clubs can also be inspired by what the federation is doing.
So in fact, leaving that Magunga wants to force his way out of Kiyovu, because in fact Kiyovu is a team playing in the top flight of Rwanda. I'm wondering, why is Rwanda investing more and the local players are not being engaged? A case in point, Rwanda is signing partnerships with other countries, rather with other football clubs, and those are abroad. A case in point, they signed an agreement with PSG, Bayern Munich, and of late, just this week, Julian Timber came, and also this youngster of PSG is in Rwanda, apparently. Why do you think? I don't know, I'm kind of getting confused why Rwanda is investing more in tourism using the clubs, the foreign clubs, and yet the clubs in the country are not benefiting. Why do you think so? Because of late we saw Julian Timber coming in Rwanda. The guy is in Rwanda.
I think you're speaking answers because you've talked to...
Because those are the guys that have given him investments, really. So
and we have also talked about promoting tourism. So I think their main agenda is promoting tourism. That's why they're bringing these people, such that their country, because I read somewhere that 75% of the Arsenal players didn't know about Rwanda.
They
didn't know about Rwanda. 75%. And definitely when a player comes to Rwanda, the fans will get to know players in Rwanda because of the publicity that comes with the social media. You see the pictures recently, so Kevin Hart was in Rwanda, and everyone got to know that. They recently had the Kendrick Lamar concert, and everyone got to know. So these guys, their main agenda is what? Tourism, though they should also focus on that as well. Maybe such issues like what we've just spoken. There may be some of the issues, that are raising, but mainly their agenda is to promote their country and promote tourism. So that's why they are hosting these guys. And I think I would commend Rwanda in terms of their empowering of sports, because we've seen they have really done something.
Okay, Kefa, now putting you on hold, how do you think that tourism will be able to support the local sport, football at the national level? Mercy.
Well, of course, the more tourists that come into, the more revenue we get as a country, so that means they're going to be able to pay the players. So I feel now it has been because every club has these internal internal issues of maybe probably the sponsors weren't enough to to give in funds for the players, but then it is all over, not only in Uganda but also Africa. Even some international players, some do not get paid as we think they do. So definitely him coming out, I feel like it could be an eye-opener for other clubs out there to be cautious that anything chizo kwaluka can be exposed, but other than that, people are struggling, not only in sport but every sphere of life. People are not paid, but then it's the consistency that if you know what you want, if you know sport is going to get you what you want, you keep there hanging in. I think his own problem was him not getting facilitation for his sick time when he was sick. Yeah, so he needed a lot of putting funds for him for his medication. That was his issue, I guess. But for payment, I believe maybe also
according to the report, he says that I think they have spent months and months not being paid.
So definitely Chiguvu should actually
Magungu.
No, that's Magungu, the player. Yeah, the team. And so they should look into the fact that now, as Uganda, we also know very soon it's going to be out there. So definitely they should, let's give them a Christmas package.
I'm hoping that for you, you've got a year.
Good.
She has to work on Christmas, remember?
Yeah.
So, but still, tourism is something. Tourism will definitely add to it's a plus for the players, because if you can see that their basketball arena, it has hosted a number of games.
Oh my God,
it
that
hosted Afro basketball, and the players are benefiting as well, because that's when even scouts come into your country and they see who are the best, the talented ones, and they're spotted out. And when the more tourism is boosted, the more sponsors are coming on board.
More revenue in the country.
So the teams, I'm sure that most of the teams most of the clubs actually have financial challenges. You don't know what it means to really maintain a team of more than how many
minimum. At least the team has to have 30.
Minimum of 30.
Then officials added. Almost you're shooting to 50 to 400.
And some of them could be renting the ground where they are playing for. And there are also allowances that come. There is transport too, and so on.
But
so maintaining a team is really.
But of course, you see, like we've said, branding, like this lady Sisi Nantongo. I feel like it's an initiative of every player to put themselves out there. They couldn't be having issues with yes, this is the new era we're in. Let's accept it. It's all about putting yourself there. Do videos, you playing ball or something like that, so people you get endorsement deals.
Massive.
That's it.
My question is,
sponsors.
Why is Rwanda investing more in inviting in foreign teams and not supporting the real teams? That's where I'm getting perturbed.
No, that's where they're getting to, maybe.
Because how can your native, I mean, the player.
I think that's a problem for Africa as a whole, not only Rwanda.
That's why we say clubs are facing issues, challenges, financial.
We forget that we are starving ourselves.
And for them, building a brand is the way to overcome those challenges. So what they're doing, I think they're right on track.
Anyway,
continue. But before I wanted to just ask you a question. I wanted to ask you a question. I want to know which university you went to.
Makerere University.
I want to know which university you went to.
UCU.
Well, you first go ahead with your topic. As we proceed to the show, I'll remind you why I asked the university.
Well, in fact, that led me to the young star of PSG coming to Rwanda, and also the Julian Timber coming. So, of late, I saw these guys are being engaged with these players in the academies. How do you think this guy is participating? You know, this guy is 19 years of age. You know, the guy is dealing with kids of 7, 8 years. So how do you think this guy will motivate those kids?
Him being 19, I feel like he's close enough to almost their age. So at least they still those ones that are 7, they still have a lot of energy, so have a lot of energy. So he can motivate them very much, because they are seeing 7-19. Oh, so there's a possibility of me
in fact,
getting.
even last year we saw Sergio Ramos visiting the country, William Draxler, Keylor Navas. I mean, how did it motivate the players in Rwanda, the academies? You know, President Kagame is a bit focusing on the academies world, so he wants the next generation to be better. So how do you think Julian Timber visiting Rwanda and playing with these players in the academies will motivate them?
I think you noticed at the beginning of most of the matches, players have youngsters beside them.
Babies, so they come with balls.
And why do they go with them to the pitch? They are not going to play at the end of the match, but they're always besides them. Why?
And it's even more fun when you have your best player holding your hand and you're walking with Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's inspiration.
By the way, in America, in the Major League Soccer, we saw DJ Khaled giving his own son to Messi, just moving with Messi. You know, everyone was excited.
You can't
the guy
sleep
was so
that
excited.
night.
It's inspiration.
Inspirational.
And many stars at the end of their career they go and make academies, and they have stories because they have stories to tell. Their mentors, they actually helping these kids walk the journey that they have walked before. So that is a way of really motivating.
Them coming there, even not playing, just them coming there and signing autographs. They're like, wow, my guy is here, and you can go to the pitch and play ball that day. Trust me, you score as many goals as you've never in your life, because you're seeing someone that you look up to, watching you. Just imagine he's your scout, and he's rating you on how you're going to perform. So I believe it's good.
I'm just waiting for you to come. Inspired. That's when I'll go back to my career of soccer.
Bro, how old are you? You see, Julian Timber is 22.
I'm older than
22. Is 19. And now those guys, they're already living their future. And now you.
Those guys make money like nothing. Because at that age, if you have that fame and money,
anyway, leaving aside,
I think we're in a wrong continent.
My focus would be their profession at a younger age.
At the end of the day, we should talk of money. You can be professional when you're earning 1K a day, 1K per month. So, but I don't want us to forget the topic of why I asked both of you.
It is okay. It is okay. But I think before we go to that topic, we had our very own John Paul Ndembe signing for a Sudanese club from KCCA.
That is not the first time it's happening. We've seen so many players from Uganda who playing in Sweden. The number of them, we could say, we've even our own
Dennis Mugabe playing Mataway.
We've seen Rick Manrick, he's also been a player. But he has been a player.
Okay.
He's been a player in Sweden. We've seen a number of them in Sweden. I think because maybe we could say that because the number of Ugandans who are
in Sweden, very many, a lot, a huge population.
But my would-be question is that why do you think after going we fall back? Case in point, we had Farouk Mia. He went in some Turkish club, I'm forgetting, but after he dropped, he was sent on loan. You get? We had our very own Alan Okero going to Morocco. After some time, he was sent on loan back to KCCA. He went back just after like 2 weeks. His contract was terminated. He came back. Which advice do you think Paul should? Where should we focus? Because our players are not professional enough. This guy has signed for a Sudanese club, but I don't know what's wrong.
But if the player is good, they would want to stay.
Farouk Mia was good. There was a time when Alan Okero was the best player in Uganda. But I don't see the club benefit losing a very good player. If they know that player is really good and is going to score for us. Because we've seen other players as well in Uganda. Now Sundown, Onyango is being there up to that. Okay, my question is, what made Onyango to be there?
No, he was good at what he was doing.
In fact,
to one extent,
I think he mastered his craft. He mastered his
was good at
strength.
what he was doing.
He was good
No,
at it.
because-
You know, for Ugandans, teenage age, you know, if we go there, you think it's the Uganda, because those guys train, But here in Uganda, you'll be like, oh, I think maybe there you have to train and you have to perform. So your
But,
contract is, I think maybe there is always something about performance as well. So you have to perform. If you've gone to perform, you have to go and perform.
Who is our current captain of Uganda Cranes?
Paul Put.
No, captain.
is,
This guy who plays in Tanzania.
Yeah.
No, he was saying at one time they were in the same team with Sadio Mane.
Really?
Yeah. So, my question is, in fact, my thinking is that away from the talent, because we've seen very many players having the talent, but
Discipline.
there is also the aspect of discipline.
Discipline.
You get? Besides the talent, you see, we've seen many people who don't have talent, but after some time, they concentrate, they work harder, they train more. Then they become successful. But all that comes with the aspect of being disciplined, and also being, should I say being in training, giving in your time, giving in your energy. Yeah.
True.
Yes, Kefa. Conclusively, what did you want us to
What was with our universities where we went to?
I think roughly we are having like 40 seconds off.
Well, in brief, the best university was Major University, followed by UCU. UCU was the host. Then Makerere came third. Victoria, which was came third, but it should have come first. As a public university, we could say.
Oh God.
Yeah, but then it had the most medals because it had 15.
Okay.
Yeah, it had 15. Then UCU had 12. Then DJ had 10.
In medals, and they
Yeah, because they had the most gold. They had 8 gold, and they had 2 silvers. And Victoria University, which came in for the very first time, it came as the 50th. And kudos to Victoria. For the very first time it participated in the games, it came as the 50th, beating out of the 23 universities.
Oh, they really performed. They outdid themselves. They really did.
The number of games, as basketball, as soccer, there was
whole lots
netball,
of
there
games.
was chess, there was pool, there was swimming, rugby, and so on. And I think these games came also as an opportunity for a university like UCU to host them, because so much was done at the university in terms of infrastructure. In terms, when you go and look at their basketball courts, they really have a new picture.
Yes.
Yeah, well, of course, that wraps it up for the Sports Zone, and of course from the entire team, Master Katsime, Kefa, and Trevor, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, please.
And a Happy New Year.
Yeah. Please do enjoy yourself. We shall be here before the year ends. We shall be here. So till next time, have a blessed weekend.
Thanks for those who have been watching us online, YouTube, everywhere, Twitter, OX. Thanks for your time. Have a nice weekend.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Amen.